And that's the halftime whistle. And two teams will be walking into the break with huge advantages and with visions and dreams of walking onto the big stage. But they, as much as anyone know, it's only half time. The job is only half to three quarters done, and they know that anything can happen in the second half. It's not set in stone yet. Don't buy your tickets. It's not over. Hi, I'm Football Otaku, and welcome to my wrap of the CAF Champions League semi-final first leg that took place over the weekend. Thanks again for your guys' support throughout the last couple of weeks. If you, of course, are loving the content, don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. And enough introductions. I think we really are itching to get to the action. So let's get started, starting with... Our first visit takes us to the Moroccan capital for an all-Moroccan semi-final as FAR Rabat took on RS Berkane. And it was a really poignant day for the fans of the Black Army, the fans of the Royal Armed Forces, as this was their first Champions League semi-final since winning the competition in 1985. In fact, they were the first Moroccan team to win the African Club Championship. So for them to return to the semi-finals for the first time in just over 40 years is an absolute huge achievement. And first of all, I just want to say a huge shout out to the TV cameras. It was a fantastic TV production. I mean, some of the shots we were getting from the fans in the stands and the production quality really was a good spectacle on television to witness. I mean, it was a fantastic show. Onward now to the real show, which was the football, and it started off a very even game. It was a game where at times felt very bogged down in midfield, where a lot of teams really couldn't get a lot of leeway in midfield. That's if you were watching the game from a certain perspective. It was a game where not a lot of clear-cut chances were being created, and it's not necessarily because the teams were playing pretty bad, because the game was incredibly even. But you could also say, if you're watching it from another aspect, that FAR Rabat clearly were creating the better chances. In fact, they were creating all the meaningful chances in the first half. I mean, Reda Slim had a cross that was intercepted by RSB defender, and a shot which was taken from Hamoudan, the captain, would go wide. Other shots as well would go over the bar. Well created opportunities from FAR Rabat. You could say in the first half, as even as the game was, and as much as there wasn't a lot of chances being created, you could tell that FAR Rabat were the better side in the first half, as they were able to create the more chances. They were able to create the better chances as well, and that was able to go into the break. Although level, they still had the upper hand. You could tell RSB didn't really create much in the first half. I mean, they did have some forays into the FAR area, but really their trips to the FAR Rabat area weren't as fruitful as you'd expect them to be. It was a very tense and very passionate first half. I mean, the crowd did crowd things, which was absolutely fantastic. But you could tell that it really had that real powder keg atmosphere. It really was a game begging for a goal, and not necessarily because it was a bad game. It was a game that really it had a lot going for it. Both teams were playing as well as they could. It was a pretty fun game to watch, but it just needed a goal to really get itself going. And thankfully, we wouldn't have to wait that long. And the goal really comes from a huge mistake from RS Berkane, being caught in possession in their own half. The defense not really set. I mean, there was a shot and it was deflected away from the goalkeeper. It was going wide actually, but deflected to goal. Zeniti makes a nice save, but again doesn't readjust. Again, the RSB defense looks absolutely everywhere, and Hamoudan, the captain, comes skating in and slots it past the goalkeeper for 1-0, and the stadium just absolutely explodes. And you can just tell how big that goal was for the context of the fans, for the context of the tie, because really, like I said, it was both teams had really created a fair few chances, more so FAR Rabat. And it was a game that, although it was moving in a pretty positive direction, just needed that kick up the backside, if I can say, to really get going. It really needed a kickstarter to get it going, and the kickstart was the goal. and the goal thankfully came. And the absolute explosion from the FAR Rabat supporters. You can tell that a lot of the frustration and relief came with that goal for 1-0, and it sends the crowd into absolute raptures. And a stadium that was already piping hot in atmosphere at the Prince Moulay Stadium goes absolutely crazy for 1-0. From there, FAR Rabat really took over and really began to impose themselves in the game, began to create a lot more opportunities, and really looked like they were hungry for that second goal that would really put them in the driver's seat in this tie. FAR Rabat, RS Berkane, would create a few more opportunities, but again, nothing worth speaking. But eventually they'd get the second goal, a ball attack that comes from the right flank. It's played to the area, again, very sloppily dealt with by the RSB defense. It's just lazily kicked away, and then I'd Koran, who is just outside, rushes in, absolute thunderbolt efforts, nothing's Niti could do about it, 2-0, and the stadium then just goes absolutely bonkers. As if the first goal hadn't sent them crazy, the second goal just sent them to the moon. It was a fantastic shot, a great way to capitalize from a terrible mistake from RSB, their lackadaisical defending, and you can just tell how much that second goal meant to everyone. The celebrations from just the players, but also the fans as well, were going absolutely crazy. And they knew that is a big, big goal in the context of the tie, because now you're 2-0 up, you've got daylight, and now you've got a pretty comfortable lead to take to Berkane, which is going to be a very difficult trip. RS Berkane would finally create some opportunities and stretch the game a little, knowing that they needed an away goal, but again, they were very susceptible at the back. There was a one shot at the end from Mbemba, I think, near the end, where he just falls wide, and sadly couldn't make it 3-0. But the game sort of opens up because RSB committing players forward. They need the away goal. Sadly, the away goal doesn't come. It ends 2-0, and FAR Rabat take a massive step towards the first CAF Champions League final in 41 years. It is a huge result for the club, and huge result. The support, you can just tell the looks from the supporters, just how much this meant to them. Generations, almost two whole generations have waited for a night like this, and it just couldn't have gone better than what they had expected. It was absolutely fantastic result for them, and they'll know it's not done yet, because they'll know RSB at home are very, very formidable, and I think that they'll definitely up their game. They'll expect RS Berkane to up their game when they visit Berkane next week. But 2-0 is a very comfortable lead for Alex Santos's men to take to Berkane. For RSB, they can only be better from here. They'll have to go for it at home. Whether they'll go for it from the gung ho from the absolute beginning, or they'll try work, it's up to them. But they'll know that it's going to be a very difficult tie to turn around, and really a very disappointing performance from Berkane in another very important game. So that's how it ended in the capital of Morocco. Our next stop is just a few borders from here to the capital of Tunisia. They left their mark. They have left their mark. Could it be the telling mark? So for the third straight year, Mamelodi Sundowns and Espérance de Tunis would meet each other in the knockout phase of the Champions League. This would be their second semi-final that they've played. Espérance, of course, having that one victory. Sundowns, of course, getting their lick back last year. This time in Tunis we start rather than in Pretoria. And it was a game where, although Sundowns sort of dominated the possession and or at least had enough resources, it'd be Esperance would be the much stronger of the two sides. Florian Danho, who was the striker for Esperance, would be incredible up front. He really was beginning to be a bit of a nuisance for Sundowns. Really took on the Sundowns defense on their own. He hits the post in the 38th minute. It's a fantastic effort as well. It's a bit Route 1, but it's a great work of improvisation. Bullies past the Sundowns defender. Tries to beat Williams at his near post, but hits the aluminium and snaps off the post, and it stays 0-0. He would also have another opportunity where he'd be in on goal again, but this time Grant Kekana would come sliding in with last-minute heroics with a tackle to go out for a corner. Esperance would again have a corner, and it'd be that man again. It was a match between these two. The first half was literally just Daniel versus Williams, as Daniel would again have a header, but Williams, with his fantastic reflexes, would keep it out. I mean, really just, split second before it was 1-0, or before Esperance could make it 1-0. Sundowns would have a chance through a well-worked move through the right, played into the area to drop the other two Silas, but it'd be deflected away for a corner. But that'd be all that Sundowns created. And even as the first half was in terms of resources, Esperance were largely the better side in terms of using those resources, as they'd created a lot more chances, and Sundowns, really due to their defensive efforts, would keep it at 0-0. But if Esperance had won the first half on points, Sundowns would definitely be the one to take the assertive in the second half, and it literally comes straight from the kickoff. A well-worked move which was clipped together by Jaden Adams. A ball played in. Brian Leon would have a shot saved by Ben Said, and that would just be a warning shot to Esperance that Sundowns were around. Sundowns were capable of quality. Sundowns were capable of irritating Esperance, irritating their defense, and creating a moment for themselves. And that would be the warning shot. Sadly, though, the warning shot wasn't necessarily heeded, as in 5 minutes later, Sundowns would have a well-worked move, would keep possession of the ball very well. Jaden Adams would link up with Tapelo Morena on the right. He would play a first-time cross, and this time Brian Leon again rushing onto the ball, header, but this time it finds the back of the net, and the Stade Olympique goes absolutely silent. Silent in shock, silent in concern, as Mamelodi Sundowns score and take the lead. A crucial away goal from someone who's really turned up in the African Champions League. I mean, when he first arrived, I had my suspicions, I had my doubts, but I mean, 4 goals already in the Champions League. Always seems to score, but this is his biggest one yet. Away at a raucous Stade Olympique de Radez to give Sundowns the 1-0 lead, and now Esperance were in trouble. It was a massive goal, an away goal, and Sundowns had something to take home. Regardless of what happened tonight, Sundowns had something to take back to Pretoria for the weekend. Esperance, though, would attack and then put the ball in the back of the net, and it'd be that age-old South African weakness. Balls played into the area, balls played into the box, crosses, set pieces, comes from a set piece. Mohamed Tugai gets ahead of both Aratu Saleh and Ronwin Williams, only for Diakite to, in the near post, to prod in for 1-1. Until it wasn't. Ronwin Williams lies down. He's injured for a fair while. The Sundowns players complain that there was a foul from Tugai, and their complaints were warranted, as the referee would go to the VAR, and it would be a clear foul. I mean, at first glance, it doesn't look like a foul. It looks like he's just ran into Saleh, or Saleh has got in Williams' way. But when you look at another angle, Tugai puts an elbow at Ronwin Williams, which impedes him, and thus, creates the play for the goal. And of course, one of the main things that referees have to do in football is protect the goalkeeper. So the goal is chalked back, and the crowd goes absolutely livid. Tugai is booked for the foul, and we play on. Sundowns, again, their one big weakness, which has started to develop rears its ugly head again, which is a lack of discipline. I mean, of course, there's mitigation against Stade Malien. There was a bit of mitigation, but here again, Sundowns get caught very, very ill-disciplined as they pick up a red card with 5 minutes to play. A long ball played in. Gronkekana raises his foot to Jack Diarra. He clears the ball, and then the referee gives him a red card for dangerous play. If you look at the TV replay, I mean, I don't even think he touches him. I really think he tags him that badly, if he does even tag him at all. But again, at the same time, it's a massive precaution, because you've got your foot very, very high, meeting the ball at a player's face. It doesn't look very good. and the ref really had no choice by the letter of the law. I mean, there is a mitigation, but by the letter of the law, he has to send him off. So Sundowns have finished the game with 10 men, and as much as Sundowns haven't really paid the consequences for being down to 10 men, I feel that they have to, if they plan to get to the final, if they do get to the final, this is something that they have to patch up before that final, because the last thing Sundowns will want is to give away another red or get another red card in a very critical situation, which forces them now to backpedal and sort of rethink the game plan. So then 10 minutes of stoppage time is announced. I mean, we've again had a red card, a VAR check, and the amount of substitutions. But in those 10 minutes, not much happens. I mean, Esperance have a last chance, which again, Diakite on the near post, but it's just scrambled by. I feel there's just way too many players. I mean, there's like 5 Sundowns players on the line, and Diakite and I think Diarra Keita on the side there, or on that, almost trying to fight for the same ball, so it skittles out for a goal kick. But 10 minutes of stoppage time come and gone, and Mamelodi Sundowns make absolute history, their first ever victory against Esperance in Tunis, which is a huge result. They're the first South African team, it's the first time Esperance have lost at home to South African opposition in I think 7 or 8 previous meetings hosting South African sides. It's also the first time in their 5 previous away Champions League semi-finals that Sundowns have won the away leg at the 6th time of asking. So for the first time, Sundowns will return home in the CAF Champions League semi-final with a lead. It's a monumental victory, and it's a victory that really showed Sundowns' potential in the Champions League. Mature results, coming to a hostile environment, a very tough, tight game, demanding game, and to get that one moment to go their way and to keep a clean sheet on the other end is a huge result. I feel they're 70% there. This was the one result I felt for Sundowns that the one result I felt that if they can take home, then I definitely will see them going through. If they had drawn or lost this game, I would have had lesser expectations. But now, knowing that they've won the away leg coming back to South Africa, I feel now they're definitely going to be odds-on favorites. It's not over yet, of course. I think Sundowns know better than anyone. It's not over yet. The second leg is going to be fiery. It's going to be explosive. I mean, I've just heard that 3 to 4,000 Esperance fans are going to make the trip to South Africa, and not just Esperance fans from Tunis, but Esperance fans from all over the world are going to be flying to South Africa for this one. So we're going to see something truly extraordinary. Hopefully it doesn't, we don't have a repeat of what happened last year. Less said about that, the better. But it's going to be an explosive second leg. It's going to be a passionate, loud and raucous second leg, and Sundowns will hope to cross the I's and dot the T's and secure yet another appearance in the Champions League final, back-to-back finals. Or for Cardoso, it'll be a 3rd straight appearance in the African Club Championship final. Well, for Esperance, not really a great performance, but they'll hope to come to South Africa and pull off one of the great Champions League comebacks. Whatever happens Saturday at 3 o'clock is going to be one of the games of the year in African football. That's it. That's the end of the video, guys. If you stuck around, you're an absolute warrior. What are your predictions for the second leg? You think RS Berkane or Esperance are going to pull off an incredible comeback, or will Sundowns and FAR Rabat rubber stamp their tickets to the big final in May? Tell us, what is your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Will we see a monumental comeback? Who is your player of the week? Sound off in the comments. Anyway, I'll check you on the next one. It's been your boy, the Football Otaku, and never forget, real football always wins. Bye bye.